This week everything's going to back to normal, and I'm going to make probably 3 to 4 videos this week. And today I'm going to make a Japanese salad from this book I borrowed from the library, if you guys can see. Okay. How who miss? It's probably her name. And it's a really simple vegan salad with green beans and black sesame seeds. I cooked the green beans beforehand, so cook them in boiling water for a couple of minutes, then rinse them in cold water so they are still crispy, so soft and crispy. You can cut them in half. I'm just too lazy to do that. And here I roast about 25 grams of black sesame seeds. So here I have about 100 grams of green beans. And I'm going to make salad dressing with the black sesame seeds. Let me just have a quick look. So the design completely changed on YouTube. I'm still trying to get used to it. To me, it's kind of like a downgrade. I don't know. I don't really like this flat design, so I don't know where is what. It's really hard to orient, but it doesn't really matter. And we're going to start with this dressing. So I'm using a blender. You can also use a mold if you have one at home. So the sesame seeds are still warm. Okay. And we're going to need 1 tablespoon of sugar. That's a lot of sugar. I'm just going to use half then. I don't like too much sugar. So 1 and 1/2 tablespoon. So I'm using a 1/4 tablespoon of mirin. If you don't know what is mirin, it's like a sweet rice wine. It's really sweet. When you smell it, mine is slightly sour. So you should probably get this, be able to get this in Japanese supermarket. If you don't have this, you can always just add slightly a bit more sugar because it's sweet anyway. And our Japanese soy sauce. I find this is kind of sweet as well, the soy sauce. Somehow Japanese food is really sweet, just like Korean food. So I'm also adding 1/2 tablespoon. So this should be able to give me a paste. Okay, this is that quick and easy. It's not going to take so much of your time. Okay, someone's outside. Anyway, I'm just going to blend it and use my blender. Okay. Sorry, it's a bit loud. Okay. You can really smell it, so I think I'll just give it another try. My blender is slightly too big, but my small one is occupied right now. Okay, 1, 2, 3. It's okay if there are still some large pieces, then it's also okay. Then I'm just going to transfer this into my beans. See if I could get them out. That's a problem with cooking without proper tools, but should be okay. I don't need all that seeds. That's it. So just try to cover the beans with all the sesame seeds. Can you guys see it? It's kind of slightly too dark. Okay. So, guten Appetit, you can see. Let me just give it a try. It's better than I expected. Really. It tastes really interesting, actually. I guess everything tastes better with sugar and soy sauce. It's just slightly too messy with all the black seeds everywhere. I guess the summer in Deutschland is definitely over. Yesterday was like 12 degrees Celsius. How much is that Fahrenheit? I have no idea. Good afternoon. Right now it's 2 o'clock, slightly over 2 o'clock in the afternoon here. In the US it's probably morning, really early morning. So I'm eating this green beans. You can also make it with lung beans, I guess, but it's completely different texture. So on the weekend, I got a receipt or a bill from the Chinese visa center, and I couldn't imagine the price. I ate so early. You guys get up so early. I usually get up around 8:30, probably 8:30. So, and they are charging us 800. Let me just have a close look at this bill again. Over 800 euro for 5 people's visa to China. I couldn't believe it. I was shocked how expensive it is. Where is this bill? And the funny thing is, this email came through Friday evening, so around 8 o'clock in the evening. And I don't know why it's at this time, but they charge a fee for visa, 340, and then service charge. I don't know why the service charge is more than the price of the visa, costs 425 euro. So I called this morning. Apparently, for European citizens, doesn't matter which kind of visa they take, it's 161 euro 15 cents. And because I'm having an Australian passport, because I'm not a EU citizen, so I have to pay 201 euro and 15 cents. I've never paid a visa so expensive, and I didn't know that if we went to the visa center, it's 30 euros cheaper per person. For us 5 people, that's quite a lot of money. Over 100 euro just because we didn't drive to the center. But next time I'll know. It's just frustrating. 800 euro just for visa. Anyway, I bought this for our next holiday in China. It's they call it a monopod, but I bought it as if it's a selfie stick, and it's from Manfrotto, is that how you call it? I just thought it's a good brand. And funny thing, it says it's designed in Italy and made in China. I actually thought it's a British brand, but probably it's Italian. I still need to figure out how to use this. But because I should open this already, I'm going to give it to my husband to do an unboxing later on his channel. Although I opened it already. But you can see, the funny thing is, I don't know how could anybody use this, because the larger end of this has this screw where you tighten your camera always. And so if I'm using this as a selfie stick, pretty much I'm holding the stick. Instead of this, there is actually a holder they designed, which I hardly can use because this side will be the camera. So it's confusing. Why not just design it to the other side and I tried to like open this smaller end, but it doesn't work. So it's pretty much just a really, oh sorry, it's dirty. Just a small thing you can put it on the ground, on the floor. So any of you guys who have used this before, you have to tell me how this actually worked. And the good thing about this is it takes 1.5 kilo weight, which means I can use this for my camera. I'm going to show you guys later. I have to try it a little bit. It works, but it's like heavy workout. Pretty much I have to like holding this on my body while filming myself, like poking myself the whole time to film. So I don't know. It's actually quite cheap, like 15 euro. Many others a lot more expensive. And I'm going to print some business cards. No sounds silly, who's printing business cards still? But because my brother-in-law is printing some, so I'm going to print some for myself as well. And just looking for like printer in China who can do it. It's a lot of work already. But the good news is, last week I really didn't do many videos, only one. My channel is still running okay, so that's a big relief. Because after the work I did last week, the company is possibly going to give me some more work to do. And I got an email from them last week. They're probably going to let me translate their internal menu, quality management menus. So I don't know how big the project is going to be, but it's going to be quite challenging because instead of translating between Chinese and English, I'm going to translate between German and English. So I don't know if it's gonna work out, but the last project really took me a while. But I thought I did a pretty good job on that. So what did you guys do on the weekend? We had birthday party. My husband's grandma was turning 80, so we had quite a party on the weekend, and we went to a restaurant in Hebron. It's on a small mountain, not really that high, and they grow lots of grapes for wine. So it's like a vineyard, but on the top is a restaurant, and they have a really good view from the top. Only worked and studied, that's boring. Hello. We had this party, then we had to pretty much drive to the bottom of the mountain and then climb it to be able to go to the restaurant. And on my Instagram, you probably could see the video, a small clip we filmed, and like in middle, halfway of the mountain, they have a really old film. So it's like you have to switch it on the side couple of times, and it's dialing itself. Then you can call the taxi to pick you up, 80 cents each time. So I uploaded that video on my Instagram last week. It looks small, only 100 grams, but it's actually quite a lot of beans and seeds. And yesterday evening was funny thing was it was Deutsche election debate, and it was the first time I saw a debate in Deutsch, and it was really funny because it was so boring. My father-in-law was keep changing the channel, and it really didn't look like a proper debate, because I don't understand why there are many parties in Deutschland. How many parties are there? Probably more than 5-6 different parties, but the debate is only between two of the biggest ones. But then what's the point of a debate if you don't have all the parties in it? So there was 2 candidates, and we all know who they are, and there are probably 4 reporters giving questions was also really weird. Why do you need 4 reporters to give questions when there are only 2 candidates? And they were saying it was like the result, nobody win, nobody lose. That's also something really Deutsch. How could you have a debate when no winner and no loser? So I don't get it. I don't want to lose all that, waste that seed. Probably could do it again for dinner tonight to use up, but sesame seeds. Still have 4, 5 more left. And we booked the hotel. We're going to stay in my city, in Nanjing, for 2 days. So for 1 day, we're going to stay at I think it's a Novo hotel, but it's probably a cooperation with Sunny. It's electrical not supermarket, retailer. Then the other 2 days we're going to stay at another big hotel. I think also like 4 or 5 star hotels, but the price is kind of cheap. Was around 70 euro per person per room per night. For 5-star hotel, it's kind of cheaper, I think. Almost there. Okay. Mission accomplished. It looks small, but before that I was really hungry, so I had a corn. It's probably enough for lunch for me. And my mother saw the video I took on the weekend, and she said I looked slightly larger, or not thicker or anything, but definitely fatter as before. I don't know if that's a compliment for me or not. But a good news is my channel, by today, if nobody's leaving, I have 1,400 subscribers now. So kind of quick after 1,000. Hopefully this trend will continue. Around 1,400. And for a couple of weeks, probably 3 weeks, I've been doing this Chinese app thing to write some articles on this app. And believe it or not, I have over 100 subscribers too. And somehow I'm getting a lot more attraction there. And you can see, I mentioned 2 times, you can see lots of funny things in China, like restaurants and stuff. And today I saw like somebody posted there's a burger restaurant in China, in Shanghai. We're going to as well for probably 1.5 days. So we arrived around 10 o'clock in the morning, and we're going to stay until next day, probably afternoon. And they have a restaurant in Shanghai, sell burgers with durian in it. So I really wanted to try, but I don't know if my husband and my in-law would like it, because my husband hates durian. He hates the smell. Like, I give him a little bit to try. Like in Macau, they had like durian ice cream. Oh, perfect. For me, it's the best ice you can have. And here they put really fresh durian in the burger. So you have like a meat patty and then a layer of durian. It's almost like cheese, but not cheese, it's durian. So that's super weird. That's the thing I want to try as well, I think. And then from this post it says it's in Shanghai and it's called Burger It. It has logo is like a whale, blue whale. It's more expensive than other fruits, but I thought it's kind of okay in Asia, like Southeast Asia. It's kind of it's not so pricey. I think it was when I was in Australia, I saw in Sydney some Asian supermarket, they sell a box of frozen ones, like, yeah, not fresh, frozen ones for $8. So probably 100 gram or so. It is expensive if you compare it with apples and stuff, but apples can be also expensive. I've seen like the perfect looking apple sold in Korea and Japan for €1, probably more, in 7-Eleven. Was a euro or €2? I forgot. I was shocked by the price, just how expensive it was. Just like medium-sized apple for €1. But I'm really into durian right now. Like, you can use durian to make pie, make all kinds of desserts. It's just natural sweetener, except it has like a distinctive smell. Otherwise it's perfect. Anyway, that's like the thing I want to try, and I also made a note of the things I'm going to try. And with my selfie stick, I'll be able to film a bit more of myself. Just give me 2 seconds. It's probably not, but I have seen it in Deutschland. The Asian supermarket have it for sale as well in Deutschland, also in a box. It's not so fresh and expensive, that's why I never bought it. But you can have it when you are traveling, when you're going to Southeast Asia. I remember like clearly, like we was in Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur, and they had like lots of vendors on the street, and I thought it wasn't really expensive. I think around 20 euro, 25 euro, they can get a whole durian, and they cut it for you, so you don't have to do anything. But just wait a second. So I don't know if you guys, how many of you guys have seen my gear before? It's probably the dirtiest camera, because it's really hard to clean it, and I use it to film when I'm cooking. So you can see some flour, some oil, some marmalade, everything's between these gaps. But anyway, it's a really good camera. It's kind of like a wedding present from my parents. The best thing is not just this camera, but this lens. This lens is just as expensive as this camera. So mine is Panasonic Numix GX8, I think it is. Okay. It's not Nikon, it's Panasonic. Nikon is pretty cheaper, or not? Actually, at the beginning, I really want a Sony because Sony has really good focus, autofocus. Sony or Canon, but they don't have this, you know, this thing, this screen when you do a selfie or a vlog. You need this, right? The Sony has a really dumb screen. You can't really flip it all the way up. So I tried this selfie stick to work with my camera. Before I tried, it's really heavy. My camera, this whole thing, weighed for 700 grams already. So it's a expensive and a heavy camera. And plus, where is my microphone? And I also have a small mic on top. Anyway. I think Canon is also the best, but the problem is Canon doesn't film 4K. I think that's the biggest problem. They don't have a 4K camera. Or when I bought my camera, they didn't have a 4K to make videos. Doesn't have a 4K videos. Only 4K pictures, probably. I have no idea. But I have, so since when I started using this camera? Probably a year old already. And it's just covered. It's covered with dirt. Oh my god. So the flour stuck between the gaps. It's so hard to clean anyway. And luckily I have one of these. Like long time ago I bought in China as well. You probably need this as well. This thing just can, so you can turn your camera. Otherwise your camera just sitting straight on the stick. I probably have to remove this belt as well because it's too distracting. And suppose you can just stick this onto the platform, and that's it, right? I thought that's pretty cool. That's like the best purchase I made this month. It's cost only 18 euros. So the funny thing is they have another version of this, cost for 40 euros, and I thought at the beginning I was going to get that one. 40 euros is kind of expensive to invest in a selfie stick. But look, so what I would do, I just stretch this. Okay, probably this one's better. Stretch this one a little bit, then I could so film myself. I think if you look somebody on the street doing this, it's probably someone doing YouTube video because it's so awkward. My husband saying it looks like a stick, like you go mountain climbing or something. It literally looks like that, but it's really stable. This platform I bought in China works perfect with this stick, right? And this selfie stick takes 1.5 kilo of weight. So my camera is only 700. So plus this platform is about probably 70 kilo. No, 70 grand, not kilo, 70 grand. So add them all together, still within that limit. I thought I'm going to get like a stabilizer, but it's also expensive, like around 400, 300 euro or something. I don't know if I want to invest that more, but with the stick, it can be really stable as well. But I thought I probably need to wear a vest or a belt or something because it's poking me the whole time. But anyway, I'm no professional in photographer. I just film YouTube videos. I don't know what is 35mm medium format film camera. It's not a digital camera. I have no idea. My lens, actually I'm a huge fan of a YouTuber who makes always videos on cameras, gadgets, and he has a really funny British accent. What's his name again? Kai Wan. I thought he's funny, and my husband knows that I'm a huge fan of him as well. And I don't know, he told me my lens is probably the best one I could get for my new mix for vlogs. But I have never really done a real vlogs. I'm just doing like a filming food, what I eat, and cut to pieces. So, but this time in China, I'm going to try to film real vlogs. Hope that will work as well, because I don't know, I'll have tons of time to film and to eat as well. Anyway, just thought it's a good investment. I've seen some other ones, but there is also one from Amazon itself, Amazon Basic, but it's slightly cheaper. It's like probably 15 euro here. Everything is so expensive in Europe. Crazy. It's almost like half price in USA, the States, I think. But anyway, I actually bought like last year I bought this octopus thing. Is it? Oh, not called octopus. In China, in Chinese called octopus. I think it's a gorilla, what is it called? Gorilla something. Wait a second. So on this, so I actually, because I saw Casey is using one of these, but then I bought this way too large. This is the largest one you can get from Taobao, because I thought my camera is heavy. If it's too small, it's probably not going to take enough weight. Actually, this would work as well, but it just looks so doof, right? When I'm holding this, it has two more legs, which is very unnecessary, and it's really hard to bend. Sometimes I'm using this as well for my intro. I'm always using this because my tripod sometimes it's too far away, and this is just easier. It has the correct height to get the camera facing my face. But this one is, I think it's heavier. Yeah, definitely heavier. This is only 300 grand, if it's correct. It's not saying here, but I know it when I bought it. It says it's 300 grand. Can't see it anywhere anymore. But that's the new gadget I'm having. The funny thing is it has a cap. You can just close it. I know you can probably do this to have make it like a tripod, but I don't know how it works up here. How do you set your cameras here? It's almost impossible. Anyway, you actually can go really high up. But anyway, as one of the couple things I'm just doing before our trip to China, I still need to put it somewhere safe. Actually, I broke my my microphone a couple of months ago, but luckily, you know, this Australian brand, I forgot the name, but the service was perfect, so my husband wrote them. They don't have original, so the company doesn't have an office here, so they just have a reseller, and they just give me a new one. So I think it was just, I was filming here as well, and then my mic fell on the floor, and the holder is really cheap plastic, I have to say. So it broke. It's completely 100% my fault, but I tried to look for like parts I could buy on Amazon. There was nothing. On their own website, there's nothing. So have to just my husband wrote the email for me in German, and then I got a new one. So now it's perfect. But there was like a Christmas present from my husband as well. Like he bought 2 microphones from the same company, but I chose the smaller one because the big one is too obvious, right? People would just look at you, think you are weird. I already think like when I'm filming outside, people are looking at me like strangely. Anyway, that's enough gear. Is today a good day for laundry day? The whole weekend was raining here. So yesterday it was not, but on Saturday we were completely wet because it was raining. So we had dinner in this restaurant on the mountains. So I could show some pictures. I'll put probably on my Instagram. And we were just chatting and eating. We had like a really nice buffet. Then after that, just chatting, and then dessert, then chatting. Then probably around 8 or 9 o'clock, start raining a little bit already. So we start walking down the mountain. It was completely dark. There was no light at all, neither. And then just around the midway, so probably still had 5 minutes walk, and it was just pouring rain, and then so heavy. I was completely wet, like wet dog. And my husband, my brother-in-law, my in-laws, and then 2 another relatives, we were just, and the 2 kids, two young girls, we were just walking in the rain. It was crazy and dark. It's funny though. But the way up to the mountain was really nice. I should put that video on my Instagram as well, and my Facebook page, because it's just the open vineyard. Usually in Australia you could see some as well, but it's kind of closed. You can't really go into the farm. It's all closed up. But this one is really open. You can go in and you can see there was just, I don't know if it's already the grape season, but so many of them. And my husband said I could probably pick one, but don't do it too obvious. And I picked one, and it was just at the same time somebody was behind us and looking at me, and my husband was a bit awkward. I think it was weird, because I thought like in supermarket, if you buy grapes, you can always try. Like if you can try cherries, grapes. What else you can try? Apples you probably can't try it. But like small things, you can always try berries. Most of the berries you can try if it's sweet or not, then you buy it or not. Why not in a vineyard? Maybe I'll buy some wine later. But it was fun. I'll upload the video later. It was a good experience. I never been there before, because it's a really small town. Heilbronn is kind of small, but it's surrounded with lots of vineyards. I think around the Rhine, Baden-Württemberg, mostly Baden. Here I have a wine I bought last week for this this cheesecake I baked 2 weeks ago. I bought this. It's a dry white wine from Baden, so it's a state here. So we are in Baden, and you wouldn't believe it, it's 1 liter, 1 whole liter of white wine costs only €2. That's crazy, right? But I haven't finished this. I just had a little bit for dessert. Probably I'll think of something later. Oops. And like I promised last week, I said I'm going to make some wonton last week, but I didn't have time, so I'm going to make this week. And in a few weeks, I don't have a calendar here. In a few weeks, it's the Mooncake Festival. It's probably one of the biggest festivals. So after Chinese New Year, it's probably the Moon Festival. So you eat mooncakes and stuff. What else? You ride dragon boats. You ride boats. I don't think they do that in China anymore. But most of the time, it's about family together. Have dinner together and have this mooncake. So if I have enough time, so that's going to be this week or next week. I know there are so many mooncakes. So you have this Cantonese mooncakes. It's the most common ones. I don't know why. So it's you can get all different fillings. One of the very common ones is 5 seeds. So you have different nuts in there. And the other fillings, probably red beans, are really common. Or from lotus seeds is also another really common ones. But now they make it so fancy, like you can have crab meat, bacon, you can have abalone, so all kinds of seafood, weird things in the filling. But they also have this mooncake from southeast part of China, where I'm from. It's called, so I don't know if you guys know, there's a city called Suzhou. So it's very close to where I'm from. And they have this kind of pastry-ish mooncake as well, with like egg yolk, salted egg yolk in that. I have one video. Yeah, I made this like a couple months ago already, and you can check it out on my channel. Should I find this link? You guys, give me 2 seconds. So for the wonton, I'm going to make 2 different wontons. So it's going to be probably 2 videos. One's going to be all kinds of ways to fold the wonton, and then the other video would be like 2 different sauces you can make with wonton. One's probably going to be the soup, the other probably going to be the Sichuan style dry wonton with lots of chili sauce. That's just an idea. But I thought I'm going to make that today, so tomorrow going to have enough time to edit it. For me, it always takes 2 days to do everything. It's just frustrating, because I always need to cook one day, cook the other day editing, and the same day afternoon cook again, and the next day morning editing. If I don't have that rhythm, it would just be like last week, would be nothing done anymore, because it takes crazy long, and I have all these plans, all these recipes in my head I can't really fulfill. Just don't have enough time. And actually, this company I was working for going to give me another project, so I don't know when the project's going to come, and if it comes, if I'm going to have enough time for that. Just give me 2 seconds. Let me find this video. I'll put this link in the chat box. So this is one video I made how long ago? March this year. Wow. 6 months ago already. Crazy. So I made this in March. It's kind of a variation of mooncakes you can get in China. And there's another variation is you don't need to bake pretty much, and it has white skin with a rice starch, a sticky rice starch, and some other things. So you can make the filling like a normal red bean filling, or you can even put ice cream in it. That's my plan if I have enough time this week. I will make this mooncake either this week or next week. If not, I will make a German dessert. So that's already 3 videos for this week. But so yeah, and I will need to look for a VPN for our holiday in China as well. Wow. And my husband wants to get a new light. We are using this 2 lights here. Now I'm using, it has 4 light bulbs inside, but it's not very energy saving. So we want to get LED. What else? Just for filming so many gear I need to get. But good thing is my channel is really like doing okay, so much better than before. For some reason, I think it's probably after my 1,000 subscribers going slightly a bit faster. But if I want to get 10,000, it's still too slow. It's always relative. But anyway, so that's for this week. That's my plan for this week. What other things so I still have 3 weeks to plan and to prepare until we're taking off. And my husband's birthday is in 2 weeks. Crazy enough, he's turning 35. It's like a huge number, but we're all getting old. So we're going to celebrate it in a German Chinese restaurant. Somehow, like last year, and then this year, my birthday, we celebrated there because I didn't really want to like invite all the people, because I don't really know many friends here except you guys. And then so it was just a simple dinner with my in-laws, and my husband and my brother-in-law. We went to this Chinese restaurant because we had once. It's also like a buffet, but it's huge, it's massive, but it's really German Chinese style. It's not a typical Chinese restaurant in China. It's more like a typical German restaurant, typical German Chinese restaurant in Germany. But the good thing is it's a buffet, so I think it's 16 euro per person. Then you can eat everything in it, except drinks. You have to buy extra for drinks. There are lots of this kind of Chinese restaurants in Germany. It's almost like a style they somehow developed along the years. So you pay so it's a buffet, and they have all this kind of raw meat and veggies you can pick up yourself, and you put it on the plate, you put your table number on it, and the chef is going to do like a teppanyaki, like a quick stir fry with the sauce you choose and the veggie and meat you choose, and you can have as much as you can. The funny thing is, I don't know how people could have more than one plate, because it's really a lot. And the good thing about this restaurant is they have lots of seafood, and this Klein clawfish, they have quite a lot too. So last time I pretty much just had that. And so in 2 weeks we're going to go back to this restaurant and have celebrate my husband's birthday there. So I don't know, maybe I'll take some videos there as well. I think people don't really know how to what make a perfect stir fry. So commonly people just putting all kinds of meat. There is like they will put lots of chicken, pork, beef, everything in one plate, and some broccoli, carrots, mushrooms, and then they choose sweet sour sauce, or like what's the other sauce Germans love so much? Something like probably soy sauce, but mostly like sweet sour sauce. And then they gave it to chef to do stir fry, but it would always turn out badly because it's just a plate of everything in it. I don't know, you have to really know what kind of combinations make the perfect stir fry to be able to get a good plate. And the really good thing is because they have a really huge turnover, so all the ingredients are fresh, and they have lots of shrimps. So when I'm there last time, all I had was crawfish with like they call it Sichuan sauce, but not really Sichuan sauce. So all just fish with sauce or shrimps with sauce, and then I'll prefer veggies in a different plate. So it's just cleaner. I'll always just do separately. Then I can have as much seafood as I can because they're more expensive. I want to make out the price that I pay, and then just veggies. So seafood and veggies. I rarely eat meat there because I thought it's not gonna taste really good either. And with all that sweet and sour sauce, it's really weird too. Funny thing is, my husband told me before he met me, sweet sour is his favorite sauce. I remember when I was living with my in-laws, they would have they have rice sometimes, and then my brother-in-law would always put sweet sour sauce on top of his rice, like this like Thai sweet sour instant sauce. There is broccoli. I love broccoli. There is like broccoli, stir-fried broccoli with garlic. I like broccoli. I find it's like I think it probably tastes a bit better than cauliflower. But I had broccoli when I was a kid, so there is. But what's some things there? You know this salad you get here in Deutschland, some like what is called? So they're looking a bit like seaweed. This kind of salad. What is it called? And it didn't exist in China before, and then at least I didn't have it when I was a kid, or just because my mom never made them. And then a couple of years ago, when I went back to China, it's so popular in restaurants, and they also make salad out of it. But instead of using like a balsamic vinegar and then olive oil, they just make a Chinese dressing with soy sauce and sesame oil. Tastes also good. What? It's same. Chinese broccoli or broccoli. It's broccoli. Broccoli tastes the same. It's broccoli. But bok choy is definitely one of the most popular Chinese vegetables. There is a saying in China, in my city, called one day without broccoli, you would feel what is it? Something. The meaning is like you have to eat broccoli every day. Like if there's one day, just one day, not broccoli, bok choy. If there's only one day, and there is no bok choy, there isn't a proper meal. Like people believe in bok choy because they think that's where all the vitamin minerals are coming from, because Chinese believe in I think in the older times where like resources were really scarce, like there were like natural disasters and people had no food until a bit later. Then people can afford varieties of food, and then people believe in 3 dishes with 1 soup. Then you are middle class in China. So which means my mom always make probably fish, veggies, and a soup, and rice. So, or some kind of meat, the veggies, and soup. So that's like middle class, typical middle class Chinese family always have 3 dishes, and then rice and soup. Soup is a must, like most of the time egg drop soup. But I haven't had like soup for ages. Sometimes for lunch, if just myself, I make like a seaweed soup with eggs. That's probably the only thing I really feel like soup. My mom sometimes make a tomato soup. So the tomato egg drop soup is also one of the most common ones. So with a bit of sesame oil, and then you stir fry the tomato, and with hot water, and you drop in 1 or 2 eggs. So I don't know why, but in my family, my mom always make soup after a meal. My dad always needs a soup. What's the other soup? I guess sometimes my mom would make radish soup, white radish soup. Because white radish also called a little ginseng. Somehow it's healthy. What did he say? I actually, is he even Chinese? I have no idea. Is he Chinese? It's hard to identify sometimes. It's really hard. For me, some people have talked I don't know, really Japanese, talk Japanese to me because they thought I'm Japanese. Korean think I'm Korean. People from Hong Kong think I'm from Hong Kong, or from Thailand, or from Singapore. So nobody really can identify where I'm from. Sometimes lots of YouTubers are really hard to identify too. I wouldn't know where they are from until, well, I could probably 80% identify if they are Chinese or not, if they speak English. There is an accent, it's really hard to lose. Italian wedding soup. That's cool. Is it something like you have to have at an Italian wedding? How about broccoli? Then I don't know. Then he's probably, I don't know. I think he probably didn't grow up in China then, or his family have long before there were broccoli in China and then went to the US. I don't know, because I had broccoli when I was a kid. My mom cooked broccoli very often because it's healthy, you know? Like, it's also super easy because you cook it, stir fry it, boil it, anything. I don't know, traditionally. I had broccoli the whole time, so I don't know. But maybe it's true. Maybe there was no broccoli before I was born. But I remember broccoli, clearly broccoli at all time. I'll try Italian wedding soup. Sounds funny. Ugh, it's with meatballs. I'm not really a huge fan of meatballs, so it's Italian American soup. Okay. Have you heard of the jambalaya soup? It's from Seinfeld. Is it jambalaya soup? I never heard of jambalaya before. I thought it's a really funny name, jambalaya. And then it happens not just in Seinfeld. I think in Simpsons they had a jambalaya too. I thought it's also something American. I thought that's also cool. I would want to make as well, jambalaya soup. So this Italian wedding soup is with meatballs. Is it also has rice in it? What is this kind of tiny, is it couscous? What is this kind of rice? What is it? Couscous? Or not? I don't know. I'll give it a try. Actually, next year, definitely 100% sure we're going to US. I'm going to try a lot of things. Well, yesterday was something showing on TV, like in San Francisco, they have this old, it's not an air balloon, what is it called? Like a balloon, at the top it's a huge air balloon, but bottom is like a cabinet, you can sit in it. And they have that in San Francisco. I want to try. You can, because it's really slow and it's not so high. You can actually use your selfie stick, so you can put your camera outside of the cabin, and then can film. I thought that's cool. That's the one thing I really want to do as well in San Francisco. I think next year we're going. Can you guys hear me clearly? Because now my microphone is slightly too low, probably. But yeah. Actually, good news is last Thursday, my husband has luckily passed his probation period. So now, he is a formal employee of this company, and it's a huge release. That's so today he's going to ask for more holidays. We're going to probably Thailand, either Thailand or Dubai for New Year. But the problem is my husband's passport only has 6 months, and he has a Chinese visa on it, which is completely doof. That's if he change a new visa, then his Chinese visa wouldn't be valid. But if he keep his old passport, don't know if it's okay to travel. Do you guys know if it's okay if your passport is less than 6 months old? Can you travel? Can you travel with it to Thailand? Hello. Thanks for joining. It's 16 minutes to overtime. Anyway. So I don't know what's gonna happen with his passport. Because funny thing is, with this Chinese visa, he could go to China on the last day of his visa and stay in China for another 30 days. Have you guys heard of this? Like I didn't know before. And I made a phone call today. He explained to me that's possible to do. So now I'm really frustrated with have to pay 200 euro every year just to go back to China, where I'm from. This is so frustrating. I don't know if there's a cheaper options. Probably get like an employee agreement with some companies, and then they give you a working visa for 5 years. Every year spending all that money on visa is crazy. With 200 euro, how much I could buy? how much food I could buy. Crazy. Anyway. But that's not possible. That's the least thing which is possible. I don't know. Yesterday in this debate where Angela Merkel was having a debate with Martin Schulz, if you know, it's another candidate. They're both so doof. I find it like people would vote for Merkel for 3 terms already, for over 10 years, 12 years, because she's a really great speaker, just like Obama. I think they both have that charisma. When they stand there, they could really speak like effortless. That people would just love how confident they are. That's why people are voting for her. I think it's not because of the policy, her idea or something, because everybody knows it's not right what's happening now in Germany, in Europe. It's crazy. Like everybody living here, like people I know are living here are complaining. But my husband is really frustrated because he's a German. For him, it's more serious than for me. Because for me, it's okay. Kinda, it's okay. Because in the other word, it's if we were going to stay here forever, that would be a more problem for me. But I don't think that way, so it's okay. I know. Also because I'm an Auslander, I'm a foreigner here. To me, it's okay. But the people who are Germans, 100% they have problems. But none of them want to vote for AfD, like the far right party, because people think they are not a real party. They are just racist, Nazi. That's why nobody's going to vote for them. But then there's no party to vote neither. Hard to imagine, like there are 5-6 parties in Germany, but none of them are good. Single word. What's happening in Germany is you see lots of unemployed, homeless, and kind of sometimes sad refugees, and then sometimes it's sad to see. It's hard to see because they actually I saw them so often. I kind of used to it. There was like a video my husband was showing me the other day was in Munich, and somebody filmed in Munich in the city. There was 100% Muslims, so women wearing head. How do you call this? Scarf. Sorry, but there was nobody else. There was no Germans. There were only, and I told my husband they are probably tourists. They're coming to spend money, to have a holiday. So there is nothing to feel bad about. Don't feel like there is no Germans anymore. Yeah, burqa. So I told him it's the same in Australia. If you go to Sydney, you go into the city, 99% are Asians. Doesn't mean you don't have your country anymore. So don't feel bad about it. It's just the future. But I can understand why so many Germans are upset about it and angry about it. So borderline issue is money. Really, you can say human rights, you can say some other ideology, some things like no borders and stuff. But in the end, it's about money. Really, seriously. Like Germans think they're not getting enough money, and their taxpayers' money going to refugees. That's why they're feeling angry. But in the end, it's really just money, isn't it? I've also heard about what's happening in Sweden. I think sometimes it's it's okay. Like I guess people scared, really scared, is religion, because somehow it's not integrating, because they want refugees to integrate in the society, but in the end Deutschland is a Christlich so it's hard to see. And then if people all starting believing another religion, and they feel I think just Germans don't feel they are taken care of. So for the past 10 years, everything has been done for Europe, for refugees, but nothing has been done for Germans themselves. And all the money have been spent, and all the resources has been given, and all the opportunities are given to foreigners. That's what they think. In the end, it's true, because I know, like, they're getting 200 euros per month or more. I think it's I don't know, they're getting the same, they even get better treatment than the unemployment Germans here. So they get I just know why so many people want to come to Germany, because when they apply for refugee, they have really good treatment. Although they don't think they have, because they very often have to share apartment with others. They have share the resources with others, and they have to wait for years. But they don't think that they're getting all this treatment for free. They're pretty much getting food, getting apartment to eat, to live, and everything for free, and they get jobs. So, like, for me, I'm applying for a Chinese visa. For somebody to work on my papers, I have to pay 200 euro for that. And the refugees don't have to pay anything for any resources, but they don't want to wait even longer. That's a problem. So hard to, it's this I don't know, it's stressful, and sometimes I just feel I shouldn't to focus on the things make people upset, because it make me feel depressed as well. Just think on the good things. There's no refugees violate Chinese student. Last year there was a German couple. They think they just raped the Chinese girl and then killed her. That was last year, but the person is German, no refugees. Sometimes fake news. I think it's not like that. I haven't heard of Chinese student got raped or something. Because religions are supposed not profitable or not. I don't know. At least in Deutschland it's the same. It's a tax-free. I don't know if it's true. Raped more, killing girls. I felt like because most of people are living up north, where Berlin, Hamburg, Cologne, Düsseldorf, so that area. So there are lots of refugees, a lot more than here, I would think. So here, Baden-Württemberg is already much better, I think. But I still see a lot of people just sitting around because they have nothing to do, because they're all waiting for their papers and they can't work. And what do? They have money in the pocket. They will go buy alcohol or smoke and sitting on the street because they have nothing to do. That's a problem. religion is not a private matter. In Deutschland, if you believe in Christianity and you are in the church, you have to pay extra tax every month from your salary. So it's not a private matter, at least not in Deutschland. I would want to believe in something, but I don't want to pay more money for the church. Where do you get that news 2 Chinese girls were violated by refugees? I'll Google it. I guarantee it's fake news. Really? At least it's not reported in Germany. I never heard of it. Nah. Most of them, they're not really Muslims, aren't they? So they say they are from Syria, but they don't have the papers. They don't even have passport to prove they are from Syria. Or not. And then I don't know. That my father-in-law sometimes likes to watch some kind of videos somebody posted on WhatsApp or YouTube or anything. And then the one thing I find is most of Germans would say they're not racist. So just forget those like Nazis, neo-Nazis, those people who are they're racist. And the rest of the people, they think they're not racist, but they don't know what is racist really, because they don't have to handle it really. That's what I felt like they were saying. They will say things to people who are really sensitive on the race issue is racist, but because they don't know it and they think they're not racist. That's true. That's what I felt like. Sometimes that's the other thing. Like in Deutschland, they call people from Arabic land, call them Araber. I think that the word itself is kind of racist. I think probably just the language. Media is talking shit all the time. Really, I don't watch German TVs at all anymore, especially news. When watching it, especially sometimes in the morning we watch it, and then my husband would just say propaganda, propaganda, propaganda. Obviously, there's no real news on TV. Every morning when you see something about the chancellor, about the government, what they are gonna do, and then what's happening with refugee, all is not news. It's just propaganda. So there's no point to watch the news here really, because they don't have a second voice here. And if somebody's saying something and then this person is Nazi, it's that easy to categorize. Either you support refugees or you are Nazis. There is no middle point. And they want, as a funny thing, last night, Chancellor Merkel, Frau Merkel, said if she re-elected, and then she will continue her policy. So with the refugee policy, they're going to take more refugees, and they want to have a European strategy. And she keeps saying that. She has been saying that from the beginning. They will take more refugees, but they want every country in Europe to take refugees as well. And that's bullshit, because nobody is going to ask for like Eastern European countries are not going to take more refugees. What's like which country are they? Are building a border? between between Germany and their country. They're not going to take any refugees. And what's the point of saying the whole time they want to give more refugees to other countries? All European countries should take refugees. Sometimes she's a bully. I really find she's the bully, because she thinks she's correct all the time and nobody else can say anything. And then if somebody say anything, then they are Nazi and everybody should just do what she says. Completely a bully. I don't know. I don't think there will be civil war, because there hasn't been any civil war in the German history yet. I don't think there will be any like exceptions just because now. And because my mother-in-law actually asked me which party I'm going to vote, and I'm so lucky I don't have to vote, because if I have to vote, I really don't know who to vote for. And then good thing is I don't have to think about that. I think if there I think my father-in-law is a huge Donald Trump supporter. And the funny thing is, at the beginning, everybody think he's a joke, and because all the media, all the news from in Germany are saying bad things about him and making him like a joke, a fool. Even now, all the time, and then so my father-in-law has always been supporting him. Think, oh, it would be so good if there's Donald Trump in Deutschland. And then at the beginning, my husband and all the people I know, they think it's like a fresh luft, so fresh air. But then after all the news, you see how like some stupid things they were making up for, and then people are starting having that idea in their head to like. Especially a friend of us keeps saying fake news, like he's acting like always just funny, like making fun of him all the time, because I think he saw too many news from Germany. What's the other thing about last week was also funny? Was like Donald Trump's wife wearing this high heels, $1,000 high heels or €1,000 high heels, and then people criticizing her. Well, that was on news. I don't know what's happening, everybody. Oh no, who? You can't even talk about Hitler here. And just was the other news like was a couple of Chinese tourists. They went to Berlin, so I think it's at the Berlin tour or somewhere, and they did the salute, the Nazi salute, and they took a picture, and no, I'm talking about some Chinese tourists. They made a Nazi salute, and then they are fined 500. They are fined €500 per person for doing it in Germany. I don't know. It's that I just find that people are not so tolerating, not so kind anymore. Just always so sour. It's always just people are feeling bad when they see other people are having more money, living better life. I think they are not treated even like equally. Well, that's sometimes like I really have to finish this in 3 minutes because it's over 30 minutes longer than I should. I still have to go shopping for my wonton. Like, that's the thing. Like, okay, so like in Germany there was a boom, economic boom around 90s, and then I don't know who got all that money, because when you're living in Germany, you don't feel like you are living in a advanced country. Like if you compare the the things they have in Deutschland compared with Asian countries, they're lying to themselves. They were saying they have the fastest internet, so they have the top 3 fastest internet, which is a lie. And then they say a lot of things. They I think just media lying to themselves. They think, and also things like the airport at Berlin took 8 years to build, still not finishing. Like things they're lying, and then a lot of programs like to showing how bad people in other countries are living, so to make Germans feel better about themselves. But people are not dumb. People travel a lot. They see other things. They're not just watching TVs all the time anymore. They know what's happening. They know what other people have. They don't have. They don't even. They have to lie so obviously. And so I don't know. I always feel like people are criticizing China all the time. Like if you look at the media, they always get criticized. But you just look at the economy grow, and the things you can get in China, and you compare with Deutschland, you wonder what happened within that 70 years of time. What people are doing, like where all the money goes. That's another thing. Like I don't know. And if you look at the numbers, although like maybe Asian countries are growing faster because the base number is so small, but you look at the wealth per capita, people are actually having money are in Western countries. So where are all those monies? Like German government's taking, I think, the second highest or third highest tax. They're taking so much money from people. Where did the money go? So, like, what did they build for people really living in the country? The people who are really working day and night, not complaining and paying their tax, they're not benefiting so much. Like relatives of us, the kid, they have a baby, so the kid is now 2 years old, and the mother wants to go to work. And they want to put the baby into a kindergarten. In Deutschland, if you look at the numbers, in Deutschland, most of the time you don't have to pay anything, so for kids. But they have to pay 400 euro per week. No, per month. 400 euro per month for kindergarten. Because they told me, like, because after 3 years, if you send your kids to kindergarten, after 3 years it's free. But before 3 years, then you have to pay for it. But where did they get this number? 400 euro per month or per week? Can't remember anymore. But just too much. If you really want women to go to work, to pay their tax, what's the point? It's really funny what's happening. Okay, I have to go too. Sorry guys. I'm going to go shopping and buy my material for my wonton, and I'm really late. So thanks you guys for coming, and I'm doing another 2 live streams next week and the week after. Then I'm going on holiday.